probably not visited the continent of Africa, or you've probably not been to Ghana, and you're saying to yourself, Africa is poor or Ghana is poor. I believe that's a major misconception, and we're going to talk about that briefly today too. Welcome back. This is Angie Marie, your Transitions GPS. The one favor I ask of you is to hit that subscribe button if you've not yet done so. And if this is your first time listening to my channel, welcome. If you're a return subscriber, you're also welcome. I'll tell you why I say Ghana is not poor. First of all, in the country, there's no war, no civil unrest, no social unrest. Peace, calm, quiet, good living, number one. Two, there's no killing in the streets or killings anywhere. Three, there's a host of natural resources, and I'll come back to listing some of those natural resources. Four, human resources. I believe that the human resource aspect of the country is one thing that drew the colonizers here in the first place, because they saw something different in these people. They saw strength, they saw intensity, they saw resilience, and that is why they came here and took the very best. Sports, entertainment, all of this just shows talent, skill, strength, capabilities. They're just a very special people. Now, in terms of the natural resources, here is a list of some of the things that Ghana has. Believe it or not, there's gold, there's diamonds, petroleum, timber, cocoa, bauxite, manganese, clay, rubber, limestone, silver, fish, and a host of other resources. So how could we say that a country that has so much is poor? No, absolutely not. Now, I'm going to share an interesting statistic that I saw put out by the IMF 2019 data and the World Bank. The statistics said in 2019 that Ghana was the fastest growing economy in the entire world, not just the continent of Africa. And they were predicting that it was gonna be growing even more. Now, we need to give growth some time to take place, but that's what the IMF and the World Bank said. The fastest growing economy in the world based on 2019 statistics. Now, I have a few things that I wanna add here before we close out, and just to confirm how rich this country is. Recently, we had a pandemic. I've never experienced a global pandemic in my lifetime. I don't think any of us listening has before COVID-19. And I saw that in Ghana, the responsiveness of the governing authorities to that pandemic was amazing. They shut down the airport, closed the doors to protect the population. I came here in 2019 during the year when the president opened up the country, calling it the year of return. I came here at that time in 2019, and when I came back in 2022, I saw huge differences at the airport that I had to ask. Every time I come in, I enter that airport, there are improvements. The bathrooms, this was from about 2013, I saw a major difference. I was like, wow, is this the same airport? #1 class airport. However, back to the COVID-19 pandemic, there were some booths that I saw that were set up after you enter the airport, and I asked, what are these booths? What are these? And I was told that they were built in response to COVID-19. So persons coming in would go to the booths and be tested. I mean, the responsiveness to COVID was so amazing, which is why I believe that the COVID did not have a destructive effect on Ghana as it did in many other places. So there are leaders here that have a vision and that are serious about the country. The main entry point, the airport. Now, you can tell something about a country by looking at its main entry point. The main entry point, the Kotoka International Airport, in my opinion, is world class. World class. #1 airport. The other interesting thing I would say about Ghana, which confirms its wealth, is its cloth fabric. And for the first time in my life, I was able to see people weaving fabric, weaving cloth called kente with their hands. And if you look at the patterns and everything, I think it's amazing. I hope Ghana has been exporting a lot of this cloth, because I believe that they just have so much. They just have so much. Ghana has a lot of mineral resources, forest, water, agriculture, land, energy. The country is rich in resources, and in economics we were taught that the main resources are land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. I see all of that in Ghana. The land, you should drive across this country and see a lot of virgin land that can be cultivated. Land, labor. Oh, as I talk about labor, one interesting thing that I saw in the statistics is that at 2021, approximately 59 to 60% of the population in Ghana is between the age of 15 to 64. What that says to me is that it's a population of strength, because age 15 to 64, that's the population that can really produce and do so much more. The other thing about that age range, 60% being under 64 and the other 40% being over 64, tells me that 40% is a good percentage of persons who are still alive, still there with a lot of wisdom, grandparents, great-grandparents, a lot of wisdom to impart to the younger people. So I think there's great balance in Ghana in terms of the age population, in terms of the distribution of the population, in terms of the wealth of the resources that are provided, in terms of the wisdom of the leaders. I think one of the greatest thing that the president did in 2019 was to invite us home, those who will choose to respond to the invitation. It represented the 400th year since slavery started, because slavery started August 400 years before the year of return was established or initiated. So if you've been thinking of visiting Ghana and you have not yet done so, I challenge you, take a visit and see for yourself, and let me know if you agree with me that there is a lot of wealth in the country. I have not seen beggars. I have not seen homeless people or people begging in the streets. What I see in the streets is resilience. A lot of people hustling, selling their wares, trying to make a way out, trying to find a way to feed themselves and to feed their families. And I believe it is amazing. I think it's a good thing that the people really want to do better and want to help themselves rather than to be begging. All right, thank you so much for sharing this time with me. It's Angie Marie, your Transitions GPS. Go ahead, like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you soon.